everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Mountaineer Podcast. I'm Ryan Sargent. I'm joined by star Mansfield field hockey goalie Brittany Ryan. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so to get right into it here, what on earth made you in the first place want to be a goalie?
You know, that's a long story. I actually was at a basketball game when I was approached by my high school coaches, and they asked me if I was ever be interested in playing field hockey, and I honestly had never even thought about it. I was like, sure, why not? So they actually brought me to a varsity practice indoor that they were having, and they suited me up in my friend's brother's lacrosse gear, and they shot at me, and the varsity girls were pelting me with balls, and it was chaotic, but I loved it, and I fell in love.
I can't even imagine. Oh, hey, you want to come give field hockey a try, and then you end up where you're at today. In your first full season taking over for Laura Lawson, who obviously had a great career here, NFCA, first team All-American, top PSAC top 10. Like, what does that mean to you? Like, what does it mean, especially in your first full year, to get two such prestigious honors for the Division II field hockey?
Yeah, it's hard to put into words, honestly, what it means to me. Just all the effort that I've put in, and my parents driving me around, and all of that paying off, in the end. And it's a huge honor, and I'm grateful, and I'm also grateful for my team this year. They were a huge part of that, especially my defense. We were a really cohesive unit this season, and hopefully we'll just be able to continue that and keep that up.
That's awesome. So going off the team this year, you guys obviously made a huge turnaround, getting to 8 wins after really struggling for 3 years.
Yep.
And beyond. What's the best story you have from this season? If you could pick out one moment from this year to elaborate on, what would that be?
I think it has to be the Bloomsburg overtime game. That game was just, that was a lot of fun.
It was pretty awesome.
It was amazing. And especially you get that overtime win where it's sudden death thing. It's like,
right.
Wow, it was great. We kept it 0-0. And then Larissa got the fast break down there, and Katie crossed it to her, and she tipped it in. It was great. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when you're picking, I never went through the recruiting process, so I'm always interested in what it's like to be recruited by a school and to tour the facilities and stuff like that. So what drew you to Mansfield in the recruiting process that made you say this is where I want to be?
Coach Britt was really enthusiastic about the program and then the school as a whole. She couldn't say enough good things about it because she's an alumni. And she introduced me to all the different alumni that work here and talked about how it's just like a family and a community, and that's something that I really wanted to be a part of.
Okay. So you talked a little bit on your team next year. Heading into your second year. A lot of expectations coming off an 8-win season. What can you guys do as a team and you as an individual do to improve and make sure that next season is just as good or better than what we saw in the field? Because it was pretty solid all year.
It was. I think just working hard at practice and giving 110%. And the girls already have come in and we're working really hard in the weight room and preparing for off season. And I think just to continue a good work ethic and continue being a cohesive unit on and off the field.
Okay.
Definitely our team chemistry is important when we're on the field and being able to play as good as we did this season. So hopefully that will continue.
So what keeps you solid back there? What's your secret to success? Because coming in is your first full season and having the accolades that you got to have a secret. You got to have something that's made. What do you do that's different from obviously a lot of other people in the PSAC, because the awards you've gotten are pretty awesome?
Honestly, I try not to think about it, if I'm being honest. Some things started coming in the beginning of the season, middle of the season, and I was doing really well in stats, and I noticed that, but I kind of tried to put it aside. And keep it in the back of my mind and always be, I was grateful and I was happy, but trying to stay humble and work really hard and hope that was enough to carry me through.
Now to get in a little, I don't want to get too personal, but to get to know you as the person, we know you as Brittany Ryan, the field hockey player, Brittany Ryan, the All-American. what do you want people to know about you, the person that, you know, has kept you obviously seem like very humble on, you know, the awards you've gotten. How would you describe yourself as a person?
Quiet. Honestly.
Okay, it's a tough question, you know, it's a tough question to answer, but
yeah. I am humble. I don't really like to talk about myself, honestly. But I just like being outdoors and hanging out with my friends and normal stuff.
okay.
You know?
Okay. So major, like, what's been your field of study here at Mansfield, and what are your goals after graduation? Obviously, a couple years away from that, but what if you could do anything after school? What would that be?
Well, I'm an environmental science major,
Okay.
and I'm just hoping to find something that I'm passionate about in the field.
Right.
There's so many different things that I'm interested in, and honestly, if I could travel, that would be
Right.
amazing. I'd like to get a job where I could travel and potentially work with water
That's
and
awesome.
water quality.
That's awesome. So, which teammate on the team this year, or in your entire career at Mansfield, made the biggest impact on who you are as a player and a person today?
Laura Lawson, no doubt.
Okay.
Having her my freshman year was, I can't even describe to you how important that was. I learned so much from her, not just as a player, but as a person. She's a great leader, and she's a phenomenal goalkeeper. And she was a great friend off the field as well.
So, best Laura Lawson story.
It has to be the practice. One practice, we were just like all goofing around, and it must have been like a practice after a game or something like
Yeah.
that. We had a little break, and we were testing how high we could jump. And Laura is so competitive. And we were testing it, and somebody told her that I jumped higher than her, and we fought, fought about it for a while, but it was just, that was the best practice. She just, she pushed me and the other goalkeepers to be the best that we could be.
Right.
So.
And that's obviously showing on the field today. You know, you guys seem like you have a pretty solid group back there. You know, watching you guys warm up before the game, it's always, you know, everything's together. So,
yes.
And I get that vibe from the team as a whole.
Yeah.
So back to your teammates a little bit. Who would you describe as the funniest, most entertaining teammate on the field hockey team? Or it could be yourself. I mean, we're not limiting our options here.
That's hard. We have a lot of fun. We are always goofing around and having fun. Probably sometimes more than coach would like, but that's okay. I have to say, Calla came in as a freshman, Calla Borgen,
Mm-hmm.
and she is the funniest. I think she's hilarious. I love joking around with her.
Awesome. So to get to Brittany, your head coach, what you said before that she's very enthusiastic about field hockey, and I get that vibe from conversations I've had with her before too. But what about Brittany she's come in and made this program just, you know, make a huge jump from year 1, year 2, year 3.
Yeah.
What about her does, you know, makes the wheels turn for the program? What about her does that?
I think it's just her passion for the school, the program, and field hockey in general.
Right.
She just has such a big passion, and she shows that to us and pushes that on us, but it spreads throughout the team.
Right.
It is very I love listening to her talk about field hockey and her game plan for each day and stuff like that, and she keeps us motivated.
Right. Well, to get into some more fun stuff, now that we're past all the serious talk about the season, about your awards and stuff like that, we're gonna get into some fun questions here. Okay. If you could only eat 3 foods for the rest of your life, that's it. It's cut and dry, 3 foods for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I have to say bacon. I love bacon.
All right.
Fruit and chicken farm.
Chicken farm, very specific. Good. I'm a big chicken farm fan too myself. Okay, so desert island, you're stuck there.
Oh boy.
Rest of your life, you can only take 3 movies and 3 books with you. So we'll start with 3 books that you can take with you.
Oh, that's so hard.
That you can only read those books for the rest of your time on the island.
Oh man, how do you choose that?
You gotta do it. You're going to the island. You're stuck there. You gotta take 3 and 3 for the rest of your life.
I'm not sure. I have no idea. I don't even know.
Would the movies be easier?
The movies would be easier.
Okay, so you pick 3 movies to take with you to the island.
Yep. Finding Nemo. Definitely.
Okay. Solid.
Miracle.
Oh,
Love that movie.
big
Great
reaction from Drew in the back.
movie. Love that movie. And Moana.
All right.
That's
3
solid.
solid picks. If you could travel anywhere in the world,
Mm.
you pick a spot, you could go there tomorrow. Where would it be and why?
Definitely Hawaii.
Okay.
I'd love to see the volcanoes and swim with sea turtles.
Awesome.
Mhm.
So now we're going to play a little word association. I know you
Oh,
may
boy.
have seen this last week, but this is going to be, I say something and then you give me the first thing that pops in your mind or the first, few words.
Okay.
Coach Brittany.
Passionate.
Field hockey.
Amazing.
Manzer.
Oh. Good and bad.
What's good and what's bad?
It depends on the day. I like the yogurt. Love the yogurt. I get
Okay.
yogurt almost every day.
Okay. The outdoors.
Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful. Van Norman Field.
Home.
Lacrosse gear.
Hurtful.
Hurtful.
I can still feel the balls hitting me.
What else do we got here? Goalie gear.
Clothing.
Clothing. Easy. Geosciences.
Passion.
Let me think of something else here. PSAC top 10.
Honor.
And I thought of one more question while we're very impromptu here. What I'm trying to think of a way to word this. What do you feel about your journey to becoming the field hockey player you are today? If you could pick one moment from the first time you ever stepped on a field hockey, onto a field hockey field to now, what moment, it doesn't even have to be here, had the biggest impact on you as a whole?
Yep, that's a hard one. I think I'd have to go back to high school, and I would say my sophomore year. My high school team made it to the state semifinals, and we ended up losing a heartbreaker. And we were in it most of the game, but we ended up losing, and it was crushing, but it also made me want to work harder and make me become the player. It made me become the player that I am today.
Right.
It really sealed my work ethic because I wanted to come back and be better than that.
Absolutely.
So.
All right, last but not least, since we're in Super Bowl week, Patriots or Eagles in the Super Bowl?
I gotta say Eagles.
Eagles?
I gotta say Eagles, yeah.
All right. And everybody, don't forget to go and follow the Mountaineer Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. To have access to our episodes, please follow our channel on SoundCloud, and you can find all those links in our Twitter page. Also, to see the video version that you're looking at right now, follow us on YouTube at Mountaineer Podcast. Brittany, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and we'll see you guys next week.